What's up, folks? Time for a Mental Monday. We are in the midst of Funky Fresh Scrambling Camp Week, which is, of course, our favorite week of camp. So many good kids. We've kids from 19 states. It's going really well. Thank you to everyone who showed up at the steak fry last week, which supported the Badger RTC. That was a fantastic event. Man, I got a couple thoughts for you guys this week. And so the first one, I was listening to this new song. I like this song, Congratulations by Post Malone. I don't usually get into the new rap. I like more like the 90s rap, kind of old stuff. But anyways, I was listening to it, and there was this lyric. Hold on, I should pull it up. I have my computer right in front of me. And it's talking about... Okay, hold on. I'm going to get it for you guys. I don't want to mess this up. It says, work so hard, forgot how to vacation. They never had the dedication. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, you don't hear the rest of the rap. Anyways, that made me think, one of the things I don't talk about on here, and there is a certain reason I don't talk about it. I don't talk about how hard I worked. And I think the reason I don't do that is because I think there's too many psycho parents in wrestling that just want to push their kids to the brink. And so when I'm saying this, when I'm saying what I'm going to say, know that everything was self-driven. My parents never asked me or told me to do any of this stuff. It was all on my own. And so I didn't take, this is factual, I didn't take a vacation for 9 years. 9 years, okay? 0 vacations. Obviously, I went on wrestling trips, no vacations. In 8th grade, I went on a cruise with my parents. They took me. And then after that, in 9th grade, I remember I got in a big fight with them because they wanted to take me on Thanksgiving to my in-law, or my in-laws, my family's house. I said, no, I don't want to miss practice. I'm not going to miss practice. And we had a big fight over it. And then that would happen every time. But pretty much I was able to lay down the law and say, I'm not going on vacation. All I want to do is be good at wrestling. That's all I want to do. And then, I remember one time after I think it was my junior year of high school, and they wanted to go to skiing. And I said, I'm not going skiing. I don't want to go. All I want to do is wrestle. Don't want to go skiing. And so I found this wrestling tournament in Denver, and I made them leave me in Denver so I could go to this wrestling tournament while everyone else went and skied. And so, I don't talk about this very much. And so part of me thinks this isn't obvious. Obviously, you have to work hard to be successful. But the level of obsession I had for the sport of wrestling was off the charts. It was literally all I wanted to do all the time. I wanted to be great, and that was one of the things that drove me to be there. And so I don't feel like I have to say this all the time, but I do feel like I have to say this sometimes to kids that this isn't going to be an easy journey. This is going to have to be a passion. It's going to have to labor love. It's going to have to be something that you're willing to skip vacation for. It wasn't even like I was like, oh man, I really want to go on vacation. It was like, no, it wasn't even a thought that crossed my mind. I don't want to go on vacation. I just want to wrestle. I just want to work. I just want to be great. That's what I want to do. And even now, as crazy as my life is, and my wife wants me to go on vacation, and I fight it because I love what I do with the AWA. I love coaching the kids. I love working hard. I love trying to make it great. And so I don't really want to go on vacation that bad. So anyways, that's that. I got some more stuff for you guys. Don't even worry. So anyways, this line, Post Malone. I never heard of this rapper Post Malone. I guess he's sort of good or something. Worked so hard, forgot how to vacation. That was funny because that really resonated with me. I will tell you guys, I did take a vacation after my junior year of college. I won the NCAA championship. I won the Hodge Trophy, and I allowed myself to go on a spring vacation. It was fantastic. Went disc golfing in Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi with Marcus St. Williamson and Gabe Conhan. Man, that was a fun trip. I earned it. 9 years, no vacation. I earned a freaking vacation. Damn straight. And then the second thing I want to talk about, I've got this question. Again, I get this question all the time, and so people must not always watch retroactively watch my Mental Mondays, but I get this question like, what are your thoughts in year-round wrestling at a young age? And the most recent one was a parent who said, I have a 9-year-old. My 9-year-old wants to wrestle. He doesn't want to play other sports. But a lot of people are saying I'm being a bad parent because he's wrestling year round, and they don't think he should be doing that at that age. And that's, for me, that's challenging. And again, I go back to what I just said about the no vacations. Is my parents didn't make me do that. They didn't tell me you have to wrestle all year round. They don't tell me you have to skip vacation. I told myself that's what I wanted to do. And so if you have a 9-year-old that wants to wrestle year round, now sometimes you worry, is the kid just trying to please the parent? But if that's really what the kid wants to do, what's wrong with that? I don't really see it. Now, obviously, Sometimes you're a parent and you have to overthink what they're thinking. Maybe if it was baseball, where obviously, pitching for a high amount of innings at a young age has devastating effects on the elbow and shoulder. So maybe something like that. But for wrestling, I just don't see it. If kids want to do it, I don't see the problem with it. Obviously, if you're a wrestling coach that coaches you around, like our club, I'll tell you, in the summertime for our kids, the level of intensity is very, very, very low. I mean, we're not grinding these kids in the summer, and so that makes it easier. We're not running like ball buster practices year round, because that would wear kids out, that would grind them to an end. But a smart coach in the summertime isn't going to grind kids. There's no point, right? So we're having fun, we're teaching them technique, we're getting better at the sport of wrestling, making them enjoy it, and that's going to go a long way with those kids. So I really don't have an issue with that year-round participation thing, unless, obviously, like I've said before, the parent is the one enforcing that on the child. When the parents start enforcing it on the child, then that becomes a gigantic issue in my mind. But if the kid wants to do it, and then the other thing I always say about this is they have these stupid statistics about people who are more likely to have Division I college scholarships. Phil, who cares? He's 8. Don't make him compete. What's up, Troy? I want to visit Australia. My buddy lives down there. So anyways, oh my gosh, what was I saying? You guys made me lose my damn train of thought. I was talking about little kids competing. Oh, I was saying, the statistics on, most college athletes play 3 sports in high school. I hate those statistics. I think they're stupid. I think they're skewed. And the reason being is, if you look at, let's just go especially NCAA Division I level football, which obviously constitutes the most participants, because most of those teams have roughly 100 participants on their team, where, a sport like wrestling might have 30, a sport like basketball might have 15. And so, when you're looking at a football team, you're taking those kids, that actually equals like 4 or 5 other teams within the athletic department. And so, the absolute best athletes in the football are and this is me as a wrestler fan, they're the best athletes. Awesome, Steven. I'm glad he's liking it. We've got a good group of kids at Funky Fresh right now. So the kids who are playing football are the best athletes. And when you're 6'3" and you're 240 and you're fast and you can jump high and you're strong, it's easy to play a lot of sports. It's easy to say, hey, I'm going to go be a multi-sport athlete. Because you're at a high school level, so we're talking about obviously Division I college level athletes, at a high school level, it's not going to be challenging to be good at basketball. It's not going to be challenging to be good at track and field. It's not going to be challenging for you to be good at baseball. So you're going to be able to play a whole bunch of sports without having to put a gigantic amount of effort into being successful, because you're an elite level athlete, a very elite level athlete. So we're talking about these, Division I football, basketball players. And, when you look at, say, wrestlers, right? Let's pick out a 133-pound college wrestler, okay? Generally speaking, he's probably very short. If he's not very short, he's very skinny. That kid probably doesn't have the option to be great at a lot of other sports very easily. And, especially when you think about some of these kids coming into high school, man, a lot of these wrestlers, they're like 100 pounds, 105 pounds. What other sports can they play and be successful at? It's really challenging. And so, those statistics on multi-sport athletes make more Division I athletes, it's a very skewed statistic. It's not good bearer of what is actually happening. That is there's proving no causation in that study. So hold on, let me read a few more questions. Practice year-round is a big difference making weight year-round. Yes, do not make, obviously. So especially our little kids, they, some of them wrestle at Northern Plains, which is May 20th. A few of our kids wrestle at National, maybe 3 of our kids, 4 of our kids. No, maybe more than that, maybe 6. 6 or 7 from all kids wrestle at the Nationals in July. But so you're talking about May 20th. Most of our kids won't compete again until somewhere around December, right? Maybe late November, possibly a few of them at the end of October, preseason Nationals. And so you're talking, they're not making weight for 6 months. And Nate, frankly, most of our kids who are below high school, they don't make weight at all. They just wrestle whatever they weigh, but they don't cut any weight. And so that is a huge mental burden to lift off kids. I love girls wrestling, John. My daughter wrestled. She's 5. We're actually going to start an all-girls class at AWA this fall. It's going to be once every other week to start out with. I finally found the coach I wanted to have. I was struggling to find. I wanted a girls coach. I think it's if you're doing all girls class, I want to have a female coach also. I didn't want to do an all girls class with a boy coach. I just thought that would change the dynamic of the class. So I found the girl I want to coach the class. They think it's gonna be fantastic. So yeah, we're pumped about that. I think women's wrestling is going to greatly expand. I think the huge problem right now, because we always have a lot of females in our younger classes, but man, when the boys hit puberty, that puberty's a PED. My podcast host Tommy Rollins said that. Man, it jumps the boys' levels, and the girls can't compete, and then they hate it because they were equal with this boy. This boy hit puberty. Now they can't touch him. It's not fair to them. So once there's more girls to compete with, it's going to be much better. It's growing significantly. You should do one of your thoughts about wrestle-offs. Frankly, if I'm a high school coach, I'm not going to have very many wrestle-offs. I'm going to judge and college coaches don't either. They're kind of stupid. I get the point of meritocracy, but the best judge of who's going to do the best for the team is not who can do better wrestling each other. That's not it at all. There's a lot of circumstances where the guy who can beat the other guy is not going to be the best in competition. So I think they're stupid. I probably wouldn't do them. Most college programs don't do them at all. So that's my thoughts on that, Brad. I'm getting a lot of questions tonight. You see a lot of NFL linemen have wrestled at some point here. Yeah, obviously, for the big guys, learning how to wrestle is a huge benefactor to them being successful. Lifting weights doesn't make you athletic. And frankly, when you're looking at an NFL line, especially the lineman, offensive, defensive, there is a prerequisite there. You're not going to be 5'8" and 200 pounds and play on the line. You're not. You're literally limited to those 6'4" guys, 6'5" guys, probably close to 300 pounds. And so when those guys do wrestle, it is a huge benefit. Obviously, a lot of them don't wrestle. There are certain coaches who cater to the football players, but too many high school coaches are too dumb, and they say, I want to show this football player how hard this is and make him quit. Why would you ever do that? Why would you want someone to quit? The one I would take the lead from if I was a high school coach, a guy named Daryl Recker who coached at Wisconsin Lutheran. They were state runners-up. He did a special program for football players where they out of the 5 days of practice, they did 2 days of weightlifting. They did 2 days in the room that was specifically geared towards upper weight wrestlers, and then they only had to do one regular practice with the whole high school team. You might say, hey, that's unfair. But, hey, listen, if you want your team to be good and you want to get the big guys out, sometimes you have to cater to that. That's what I would do if I was a high school coach. I would try to get all those big guys out. I would cater plans specifically towards them so they could be successful, so we get as many of them out as possible. Because, yes, listen, a 280-pound high school kid is not going to be able to keep up with your 120-pounder on runs or anything else. So don't freaking grind them out and make them quit, because 280-pound guys don't want to run around the hallways or do sprints or something. They're just not good at it. They're 280 pounds. They won't play football. So cater plans specifically towards them, please. High school coaches, keep those guys out. Let's see. My son weighs what he weighs, 9 years old. No 9-year-old should cut weight. Maybe a pound. Sure, a pound, that's fine. Let's see. Randy Farrell. I know, Randy Farrell, we need to get girls wrestling in Wisconsin. That's huge. Morning practice at high school, I would try to avoid it if possible, but sometimes it's necessary. I know we do morning runs, which were really short, in my opinion. And there's a sleep doctor on Joe Rogan's show. He's fantastic. He talked about how all high schools start too early and should shift about 2 hours later, which I think is a brilliant idea. I remember sleepwalking through my first 2 years of high school because I couldn't adjust to waking up so early. Would I wrestle a girl for $2? Probably not. Girls kill you. Duh. Badger, I already bought my season tickets, Tom, so I'm pumped for that. I bet they're sold out. Let's see. We got so many questions tonight. Oh, my gosh. I don't know anything about type 1 diabetes, so I'm not going to comment on that. All right. That's all. I answered all the questions. Boom. That was fantastic. Worked so hard, I forgot how to vacation. I did remember how to vacation now. I'm retired. It's fantastic. My hair is kind of looking subpar today. Jiu-jitsu will help a small amount, Richard, but not that much. That's it. We got Funky Fresh. I'm going to the Ruda Sales Summit. I got my Snyders. They're fantastic also. Thank you, Wrestling Mindset. Well, Eric, I'm sure I'd wrestle you because I'm going to pin you. It's no big deal. Jiu-jitsu. Got to learn upper body takedowns, because if you shoot and you're not a high-level wrestler, you're going to get choked. Sorry. That's all I got. Thank you, Wrestling Mindset, as always, supporting this. I just saw a bunch of you guys at Fargo. I saw some of you guys at Funky Fresh. You guys thanking me for the Mental Mondays. I love the Mental Mondays. I'm glad I can give back to you guys. Peace. I'm out.